This little girl was just playing around in the shallows of the water when all of a sudden she started to struggle. She had been separated from her mother, and now she was panicking, and no one could hear her cries for help. But then suddenly, a hero appeared. This mallard duck noticed what had happened and waddled over to the girl. It quickly took off its jacket, which was quite literally a life jacket, and saved this little girl's life.
Ho, ho, ho!
This is the incredible moment that was captured by local surfers at Playa El Sunzal in El Salvador. You can see the young girl struggling in the water. She has been separated from her mom and is getting further and further out to sea. She really doesn't know what to do now. But then out of nowhere, this kind stranger enters the water. Now the girl does spot this man swimming towards her, but she's too scared and tired to try and get his attention.
Ho, ho, ho!
Will he be able to save her before it's too late? I honestly don't know if he's gonna make it. As the girl begins to sink lower and lower into the water, our hopes of her being okay start to fade. But then something unbelievable happens. A wild duck appears and starts paddling frantically towards the girl. We don't usually associate ducks with being that intelligent, but this one is actually trying to save the girl's life. And it might just have the perfect plan to do so.
Ho, ho, ho!
The duck starts swimming towards the girl while quacking loudly to try and get her attention. Honestly, I would have expected the girl to try and grab onto the duck because it literally looks like her only hope at this point. But instead she actually tries to push the duck away. I guess she thinks the duck is just curious and doesn't realize how serious the situation really is. But the duck is persistent, and it eventually gets closer and closer to the girl.
Ho, ho, ho!
As it swims up to her, it seems to tell her that everything's going to be okay. As the two get closer, we can see the true extent of just how much danger this girl is in. She's completely exhausted, and the water is starting to cover her entire body. If she can't get herself upright again soon, she'll drown. At this point, it looks like the duck is literally the only thing keeping this girl alive.
Ho, ho, ho!
But will it be enough? It continues to swim around her, trying to push her towards the shore, but it's not sure if she's even listening to it. You have to feel sorry for this duck. It's such a selfless animal. And while ducks might seem quite unintelligent compared to other animals, they're actually much smarter than we give them credit for. Not only do they have excellent memories, which is why they can recognize their caretakers,
Ho, ho, ho!
but they also have excellent spatial awareness, which is why they can fly in very tight spaces without hitting anything. In fact, a study conducted by the University of Oxford found that ducks are as intelligent as a 2-year-old human child that's incredibly smart in the end. It seems like the duck has given up on trying to convince the girl to move.
Ho, ho, ho!
So instead it does something else. It starts quacking louder and louder to try and attract the attention of the people on the shore. Surely someone will hear it and realize what's going on. One of the people who hears the commotion on the shore is this man. He takes off his shoes and runs down to the beach. He needs to do something to help this girl before it's too late. Another man dives straight into the water. I just hope he makes it in time.
Ho, ho, ho!
Meanwhile, the girl is still hanging on, but she's getting weaker and weaker. It really does look like she won't make it. The man finally reaches the girl, but he can only pull her back towards the surface. He can't dive down deep enough to grab her feet and pull her all the way back up to shore. The girl is in such bad shape that she actually vomits up water. It is clear that she has been underwater for quite some time now, and she is seriously struggling to stay conscious.
Ho, ho, ho!
The men on the shore are doing everything they can, but it looks like the girl is going to drown. And in the end, it's the duck that ends up saving the day. As the girl sinks lower and lower under the water, the duck does something crazy. It jumps on top of her body and pushes her head above the water. Thanks to the duck's actions, the girl is able to breathe again. But she's still in bad shape.
Ho, ho, ho!
Now that she's breathing again, the men are able to pull the girl out of the water. She's then placed on a nearby surfboard so that she can be taken back to the shore. The men are working together to keep the girl alive. They need to get her back to the shore as fast as possible. The girl is then placed on the sand and people start performing mouth-to-nose resuscitation. It looks like she's still not breathing on her own.
Ho, ho, ho!
Everyone is starting to lose hope, but the girl's mother refuses to give up on her daughter. While performing mouth-to-nose resuscitation, the girl's mother also massages her heart. This helps to pump blood around her body and bring her back to life. The girl's father also arrives at the scene and he immediately starts slapping her body. This is meant to stimulate her nervous system and hopefully get her heart beating again.
Ho, ho, ho!
Everyone is starting to lose hope, but the girl's mother refuses to give up on her daughter. After about 10 minutes of non-stop work, the girl starts showing signs of life. She's then taken to the hospital, where she's placed in an induced coma for several days. After several days, the girl is woken up from her coma. She's still in serious condition, but at least she's alive.
Ho, ho, ho!
The doctors say that if it wasn't for the quick reactions of the men and the duck, the girl would have most likely died. The girl's mother is forever grateful to the duck that saved her daughter's life. She says that she'll never forget what the duck did for her family. "We owe our lives to that duck," she said. "It's thanks to him that we were able to be reunited as a family." The girl's father also thanked the duck, saying that it was a true hero.
Ho, ho, ho!
"We will never forget what you did for us," he said. "You are a true hero." The duck that saved the girl's life became a local celebrity after the incident. People came from all over to see the duck and pet it. The duck seemed to enjoy all the attention. As for the girl, she made a full recovery. She was released from the hospital several weeks later, and she's now living her life normally. She's also doing well in school, and she's making new friends.
Ho, ho, ho!
The girl and her family have visited the beach several times since the incident. They always bring the duck food and water, and they love spending time with the duck. The girl's mother says that she's raised her daughter to be a kind and caring person. She knows that her daughter will never forget what the duck did for her. "We are so lucky to have had this experience," the girl's mother said. "It's not every day that you get to meet a true hero."
Ho, ho, ho!
Our little girl is so happy to be alive, and she is so grateful to the duck that saved her life. If you enjoyed watching this amazing rescue operation, then make sure to leave a like for more heartwarming videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Ho, ho, ho!